Hi, welcome to PowrrUp. In this edition, we'll be talking about chronic inflammation, what it is, what causes it, why eating anti-inflammatory foods are important, and the top 30 anti-inflammatory foods in alphabetical order. So let's get started. What exactly is chronic inflammation? It's like your body's alarm system going off nonstop, except there's no actual emergency. Instead of calming down after dealing with a problem, your immune system stays on high alert, which can mess up healthy tissues and cause all kinds of diseases and issues. Think of it as your body being stuck in a bad mood. So, chronic inflammation has been linked to numerous diseases, many of which are serious and life-threatening. So I'm just going to give you some of the most common conditions caused or worsened by persistent inflammation. Number 1, autoimmune disease. Things like rheumatoid arthritis, lupus and multiple sclerosis, inflammatory bowel disease, and psoriasis. Psoriasis is a skin condition that can lead to red scaly patches. Another condition caused by inflammation is cardiovascular diseases. Arteriosclerosis is like a chronic inflammation that leads to like plaque buildup in the arteries, and that can increase your risk of heart disease and strokes. Hypertension, otherwise called high blood pressure, this contributes to your artery stiffness and damage. Heart failure, another one is metabolic disorders. These are your type 2 diabetes, as well as your obesity related inflammation. Like if you have too much excess fat, particularly visceral fat, it can trigger chronic inflammation and metabolic dysfunction. Another link of what inflammation can do over time, if you don't address it, is neurological diseases. Alzheimer's, Parkinson, even depression and anxiety. Emerging research suggests that chronic inflammation plays a role in mental health disorders. So, think about what you're eating. And the C word, cancer. Things like liver cancer, colon cancer, and pancreatic cancer. Yes, so these are commonly related to inflammation. So, be cognizant of what you're eating and the amount that you're eating, because this can lead to this down the road. Another outcome from, chronic inflammation, if you don't address it, is respiratory diseases, COPD, otherwise known as chronic obstructive pulmonary diseases, asthma, and pulmonary fibrosis. This is where the inflammation, scarring of the lung tissue reduces oxygen intake. Another one is chronic pain and musculoskeletal disorders like fibromyalgia and osteoarthritis. Fibromyalgia, they really don't know what the exact cause is, but they suspect that inflammation may play a role in this. Science is still reviewing this, but osteoarthritis, chronic joint inflammation, leads to cartilage breakdown. Other areas is digestive disorders like gastritis and also non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, where inflammation of the liver leads to fibrosis and psoriasis, okay? So why does chronic inflammation happen? So I'm going to give you some common culprits. So we're going to start off with poor diet. Sugar overload, yes. Say hello to high fructose corn syrup. This causes blood sugar spikes, which your body hates. Sadly, you'll find these in sneaky spots like soda, cereal, pancake syrup, and even some dressing. So watch out for those sweet buns. Processed and fried foods, yeah. Are you like feeding your body straight up drama? They're loaded with trans fat and artificial junk, okay? Refined carbs. White bread, pastries, pasta, yes, they're very tasty, but inflammation, they add to that. Omega-6 overloads. These fats are great in moderation. I say moderation, but if you take them in too much excess, it can tip that scale to inflammation town. So be on the lookout for like vegetable oils and certain snacks. Pay attention to that. Chronic stress can contribute to inflammation. So because your body will turn into a cortisol factory, and when you have too much cortisol, this is a recipe for inflammation. So really, I've done a post on this already about, what to do about stress, anxiety, all this kind of stuff. Look through one of my shorts or one of my short videos to take a look at this. If you have a couch potato life, if you're sitting around all day, that's just bad. That isn't a good thing, and it's not good for your waistline. It's like a direct invitation for inflammation. Your body craves movement, so even if it's a quick walk, move, do some kind of movement. Lingering infections or injuries. When your body's still fighting an old battle, like an infection or an injury, Inflammation hangs around like that one party guest that won't leave. And another contributor is environmental toxins, pollution, pesticides, cleaning products. They're not just bad for the planet, they're bad for you too. Autoimmune conditions, sometimes your immune system gets confused and attacks its own tissues. Yeah, it does. Then we're talking about gut health, the gut drama. A messy gut, like from leaky gut syndrome or imbalanced microbiome, leads to toxins sneaking into your bloodstream. And you don't want that. So if you've got toxins leading into your bloodstream, it's creating and causing chronic inflammation. Carrying extra weight, especially extra fat around the belly, produces inflammatory compounds that keep your body on edge. Smoking and booze. Smoking and excessive drinking. Smoking, you need to stop it. That's very toxic. Drinking too much. So be cognizant. Don't overdrink. That's toxic too, because your immune system is basically screaming, stop, stop, stop. So if you're smoking a lot or you're drinking to the point where you're drunk all the time, that's not good. And you need to spend some days not drinking, okay? Poor sleep. Sleep is when your body chills and repairs. So when you mess with that, you're inviting inflammation to take over. And lastly, chronic illnesses. Things like diabetes or heart disease keep your body's inflammatory process on overdrive. So if you're already diagnosed with diabetes or heart disease, and then you're eating stuff that is only aiding and abetting, you're eating the bad foods that's causing the inflammation, you're creating a double whammy, okay? So you really got to be on the lookout for what you're eating, and how much you're eating, okay? So why should you care about anti-inflammatory foods? Why should this be important? And I want you to know, I don't want to assume everybody knows this, but I want to give you the rundown. Well, you should care. Why? Because once you start consume anti-inflammatory foods, guess what it does? It chills out the inflammation. They act like a peacemaker. They calm things down. They protect your healthy tissues. They also are like a disease protection. Like, inflammation fuels major health baddies. It fuels the bad health like heart disease, Alzheimer's, and the C word. But if you're eating right, if you're consuming the right stuff, it can help dodge those issues. A happy gut is a happy life. So consume your fermented foods, consume your leafy greens, consume your chia seeds to help calm your gut and improve your digestion. And you'll say bye-bye to bloating. You also, if you consume anti-inflammatory foods, you'll have a stronger immune system. Nutrients like antioxidants and vitamins keep your immune system balanced and ready for action. You'll also have smoother joints. Yeah, less ouch. Bye-bye joint pain. Foods like fatty fish and turmeric are natural painkillers. You will also boost your brain. You won't have this foggy brain. It'll be more sharper. All right, your mind is much sharper. Anti-inflammatory foods like berries and nuts support brain health, and they fight off the brain fog. You'll age gracefully, because inflammation speeds up aging. And unless you're trying to put yourself in a situation where you're speeding up so that you get Alzheimer's, you're speeding up where you get joint pain, you're speeding up where you're going to need kidney dialysis and things like that, keep eating the way you're eating. You have to start eating foods that are full with antioxidants, that are anti-inflammatory foods, because they slow down the aging process. So they allow you to at least age gracefully with all your faculties. You can have a vibrant life. And guess what? Your skin is going to be glowing also. Eating anti-inflammatory foods balances blood sugar, so there's no spikes or crashes. Foods like olive oil and leafy greens help to keep things steady. You'll have more energy and less drag. Yes, inflammation drains you. Anti-inflammatory foods restores your energy and you can get back to thriving. Because if you're eating anti-inflammatory foods like your fruits and vegetables and they're not overcooked because they still have the vibrant nutrients in it, it goes straight into your bloodstream, into your tissues, and it's making them still be alive. It's really giving them some energy. When you're eating these processed foods or fast foods, you're just eating basically dead air. And it tastes good because they cover it with the sugar and all this kind of stuff, but it's not doing anything to you, and it's just clogging up your arteries and your cells and your tissues, and it's just adding more gunk to it, just so much heavy weight to it. That's why you're drained. And the last thing, when you eat in anti-inflammatory foods, there's no nasty side effects. Unlike popping pills, these foods are natural and they are sustainable. It's a sustainable way to tackle inflammation and boost your health long term. So this is the part you've been waiting for. I'm going to go through the list of 30 anti-inflammatory foods in alphabetical order. So let's get started. Number 1, almonds. These are rich in omega-3 fatty acids and vitamin E, which helps reduce inflammation. Number 2, asparagus. High in glutathione, a powerful antioxidant that fights inflammation. Avocados. These are packed with healthy monounsaturated fats and antioxidants like carotenoids. Beets, yes, contain betalains, which are antioxidants that help combat inflammation. Bell peppers, loaded with vitamin C and capsaicin, which have anti-inflammatory effects. Berries, blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, blackberries, all the berries. These are high in anthocyanins. They are antioxidants, but they are special kind of antioxidants. They're like antioxidants on steroids because that's why they have their coloring. So like you need to start looking at food that are red, purple, or black in color because they have a thing called anthocyanins. Your black rice has that. Your eggplant has that. Your beets have that. Your red cabbage has that, okay? They all have antioxidants, but if they have this red, purple, or black coloring, they have antioxidants on steroids, which is anthocyanins. Broccoli. Broccoli contains sulforaphane, and that's a compound that lowers inflammation. Cabbage, especially red cabbage, I mentioned that before. They're rich in antioxidants that fight inflammation. And again, if you get the red cabbage, they have the anthocyanins, so they have the antioxidants on steroids. Carrots. Carrots are high in beta-carotene and antioxidants that reduce inflammation. Chia seeds, an excellent source of omega-3 fatty acids and fiber to combat inflammation. Cilantro, they contain detoxifying compounds that reduce heavy metal and inflammation. Cinnamon contains cinnamaldehyde, which has anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties. Citrus fruits, high in vitamin C and flavonoids, which reduce inflammation. Coconut oil contains medium-chain fatty acids and lauric acids, which have anti-inflammatory effects. Dark chocolate, this has to be at least 70% cacao, rich in flavonoids and antioxidants, which are anti-inflammatory properties. Fatty fish, salmon, mackerel, sardines, or tuna. These are loaded with omega-3 fatty acids, which are powerful anti-inflammatory agents. Fermented foods, your kimchi, your sauerkraut, and your kefir, they improve gut health, which indirectly reduces inflammation. Garlic contains allicin, an active compound with anti-inflammatory properties. Ginger contains gingerol, which reduces inflammation and muscle soreness. Green tea contains epigallocatechin 3-gallate. The abbreviation is EG, potent anti-inflammatory antioxidant. Leafy greens, your spinach, your kale, your Swiss chard, your mustards, your collards. Swiss chard is a superfood, okay? These are rich in vitamins, antioxidants, and anti-inflammatory properties. Mushrooms, shiitake, maitake, and portobello, they contain ergothioneine, a compound with strong anti-inflammatory effects. Nuts, your walnuts and your pistachios, these are also packed with omega-3 fatty acids like your fatty fish and vitamin E, and they help reduce inflammation. Olive oil, especially extra virgin olive oil, It has a natural anti-inflammatory compound. Papaya is high in papain, an enzyme with anti-inflammatory and digestive benefits. Pineapple contains bromelain, an enzyme that reduces inflammation. Seaweed, yes, seaweed is rich in fucodane. Fucodane is a compound with anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties. Sweet potatoes, yes, these are packed with beta-carotene, fiber, and vitamins that reduce inflammation. Tart cherries, these contain anthocyanins. Remember I was telling you anthocyanins are antioxidants on steroids? And they also reduce muscle soreness and inflammation. And lastly, turmeric. These contain curcumin, which is one of the most powerful natural anti-inflammatory compounds, okay? So if you are trying to reduce your inflammation, I would suggest every morning when you wake up, have you can put a slice of lemon or squeeze a half a lemon and just put a little bit of turmeric with some hot water and drink. It can go straight to your cells and tissues because you don't have anything else in your body because it's first thing in the morning, and you should drink that to start because it's so powerful. You will feel the effects, especially in your joints and places like that. Well, I hope you found this information helpful, and as usual, stay tuned for more PowrrUp holistic tips. Bye.